My new collection of frog-themed products is releasing soon, but it's missing something. I want to make a new zip sweatshirt design using DTF transfers, but is there even time? Yes, there is. Thanks to the xTool Apparel Printer, I can whip up new designs last minute and print them immediately from my home studio. With a single click, it prints, adds powder, and bakes the DTF transfers automatically. I can make my ideas a reality as soon as inspiration strikes. No need to wait for transfers to be delivered by another company. Want to know how it works? Well, keep watching. So today's video is sponsored by xTool, who kindly sent me their apparel printer, and oh my gosh, I'm in love. The apparel printer prints DTF transfers. DTF stands for direct to film. It's something like this, where the design's printed onto film and then you heat press it onto fabric. And just to give you an idea of the process, it prints color, then prints a layer of white, and then while the ink is still wet, powder gets sprinkled onto the transfer, and then it's baked. The powder gets heated up and melted on the back, and that forms your adhesive. It's not sticky to the touch, but you then heat press it onto your fabric. Now, I've been selling apparel with DTF transfers on them for a while now, but I've outsourced the printing of the transfers because I don't have room for a huge commercial DTF printer. Those things are massive. Now, there have been smaller home use DTF printers released in recent years, but everything is separate. So it just prints the transfer, then you manually have to sprinkle the powder on it in like a bin of powder. And by the way, that stuff is toxic. You should not be handling it like that. And then you manually place one transfer at a time into an oven that looks like a flatbed scanner kind of thing, and that bakes your transfers one at a time. So it's a very slow process, and it's not very safe. And that has turned me off from ever getting a DTF printer, because I would need a small at-home model, but I'm not going through that whole process for a single transfer. So the xTool Apparel Printer does it all in one. When you hit the print button, it will print the transfer, it'll apply the powder, and bake it. And it's all contained, so you're not breathing in the powder, not handling the powder. So that's great. Convenience and safety. So in today's video, I'm going to be unboxing the machine, going through the setup process, and printing out my first test prints. And then in future videos, I'll do a deeper dive into more specific aspects of it. So without further ado, let's begin the unboxing. Now this is our accessories box that comes with. So it's got the printer film on a roll, an output tray, moisturizing liquid, ink bottles, and some cleaner. So here's the output tray. I'm just going to keep that in the plastic for now. Then all the inks. We have the CMYK and white, and then the moisturizing fluid. And this is the cleaner for the print head. You know, keep it clear. And then here is our big roller with the film that it prints onto. Now this box here contains a bunch of our consumables. Okay, this is white ink. These boxes contain cleaning fluid, magenta ink, more powder, 4 bags of it. These are all ink, and then I have these two. That's gotta be film, hey? Yes, 200-meter rolls of film. So here's everything, including the 2 rolls on the floor still. So one of each item comes with the machine, and then they have a material bundle that comes with one of each ink, but 2 white inks, 1 cleaner, 1 moisturizing liquid, 1 roll, and 2 powder bags. So it looks like I got 2 of those bundles, plus some extra moisturizing liquid. This box is specific to the shaker oven. We have some powder. We've got some safety instructions, the quick start guide, the hose to connect the unit to the air purifier, or you could vent it out a window. We have a long screwdriver, some screws, a paintbrush, an Ethernet cable. And then we have the power cord. Now opening it up. We've got the manuals up top. We have some accessories. And slide this over to remove the foam. And also remove this film from the print head. Now let's take everything out of the foamies. So we just opened up the bracket. We have power cable and USB cable, syringes, screwdriver, screws, the droppers, little pipette type things, cleaning swabs, cleaning cloths, print head protection box, lubricating oil, and some plastic bags. Now the first thing I'm going to do is screw the printer into the shaker oven so that it's secure. Then we want to take the cover off of the print head and push it all the way to the side. Then we're going to pull this switch here to raise these roller wheels. And now I need to screw on these brackets. These are going to hold the roll of film on the back of the printer. Now I'll peel the plastic off of this and attach it to the back of the machine, making sure the paper goes over the roll, not under. Now I should be able to feed the paper through, because we lifted the rollers earlier. In the side compartment, there's also a piece of plastic on the underside of the print head that needs to be removed. I can close this. Now I'm going to put it into place and lock the base of it because it's rolling right now. But now that the roll is on, I can position it exactly where it needs to go. So the weight is now off the wheels and on the feet. And now it's ink time. Ooh! This panel's magnetic, so this should just pop off. Oh yeah. We got our moisturizing liquid, our CMYK, and white. Now the color tanks are 500 milliliters, which is the same size as the ink bottle, so I should be able to dump all of this in there. Ooh. Then on the inside, you can see the ink levels here. So we've got more room in the moisturizing liquid and more room in the white. So I think I'll open up one more bottle of those and add it. Now for the shaker oven, we need to open this. Spin and pull. And this is where we're dumping the powder. Now attaching the tray to the bottom because the prints come out the bottom of the printer there. So there's some feet. This is magnetic. And then this tray even pulls out. Now let's open the air purifier. Safety instructions and quick start guide. A panel and accessories. And as for the connectors, we need the one that tapers the most, which is this one. Screw it on to the end. So air from the machine is going to go through the white pipe to the purifier, and then you can attach this to the purifier as like an out exhaust. But for the apparel printer, we don't need the exhaust pipe. And we also do not need this ring. So 0 stays where it is. For these other ones, you want to pull them out, numbers 1 through 5, then put them back, order 5 through 1. Okay, air purifier's there, it's connected, and I plugged in the power cables to the shaker oven and to the printer, although it's not plugged into the wall yet. I'm gonna plug this in here, and the other end goes into the shaker oven, that way they can communicate with one another. And I'm using an Ethernet cable to plug in the printer, just because, based on my history with printers, a wired connection is always better. But you can do USB and Wi-Fi. So I should be good to plug it in. I'm nervous. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, now following the on-screen instructions. Oh, I see the white ink coming in. Haha, when I open the software, the printer is there. Okay, I've loaded up Froggy Palette, just one copy. I didn't do the most efficient use of the horizontal space, but I don't want to waste ink in case something goes wrong, so I'm going to print just the one transfer. Look at the powder being carried along on its little conveyor belt thingy. So it's going to print the color layer first, then it prints the white on top. Then it sends it into the oven where it sprinkles the powder on it and then bakes it. And that baked powder forms the adhesive. It's printing color and white at the same time. The white just trails behind the color a bit. Powder's being applied. And it's cutting the paper. There we go. Now it's heating up the transfer. Okay, here is what I got out of it. I might need to run the calibration one more time because the white isn't quite centered, but it's not showing a big white stripe on the front side or anything, so that's good. Print quality is good, no banding. I did print it at the highest setting for both resolution and feathering because I wanted the highest possible quality. The colors look amazing. Oh, my Froggy. I figured this was a good first test because I have some Froggy transfers already, and so I can compare, you know. And I'll have to look at some of the other settings and play around because there's settings you can tweak with these, so I'll have to find my sweet spot, but this first one's looking really good. I'll have to give it a press onto something. And here it is. And I am so impressed. I'm gonna be honest, I had a fear that these would feel too thick on the shirt because not all DTF is created equal. And I've had some very thick papery feeling DTF in the past, but this is nice and thin, just like the transfers I've been getting professionally made. Yes, I am so happy with that. Yes, it's just wild to me. I can print this at home. Now for this Froggy collection I've been working on, I wanted to do a DTF zip, but I was starting to think it wasn't going to happen. But you know what? We can make it happen. I was struggling on how to incorporate the Froggies into a design, and I just figured it would be so expensive printing the large transfers necessary for this project, but now that I have the xTool Apparel Printer, it'll be much more affordable because I want a design on each sleeve, all the way down the sleeve, plus a design on the left chest. And look what was just delivered today. My samples for the zips. Let's print off some test sleeve transfers. I don't know exactly what size I want, so I'm printing off a 4.5 inch wide transfer. Will that be too wide? I don't know. Let's see. I'm hoping 4.5 inches works because it perfectly fills the printing area. Look at this. We can fit 3 perfectly next to each other. Now I have this imported as one big image instead of 3 separate images. You can import everything individually and lay it out in the software. And for DPI, I'm going to go to Ultra, and then for Feather, I'm going to go to Super. And I did some tests on the white ink reduction, like how much it chokes in the white, and I like 0.3. Everything else stays at its default setting, so that's just 3 things to tweak. And once I save the project, it'll save those settings, so I don't have to reset those options every time I print. And then when I hit print, it loads up the next page and it shows it mirrored now. And what's really cool is there's a cost calculator that calculates how much film you use, how much of each ink, and lets you know what it's costing you to print. So I will for sure be doing a follow-up video comparing the cost between this printer and getting them professionally printed at my usual place. $1.05. Canadian, I'm assuming, because they put the $ after, which is the French Canadian way of doing it. And these are big transfers, so that's amazing. And now I will hit print. Okay, this transfer size is looking pretty good. This is a medium-sized blank, and there's plenty of width here. And these only go down to size small, so the small might be slightly narrower, but it would still fit. And since it tends to scrunch at the wrist, the design is further from the wrist, but closer to the shoulder seam. The leaf's about 1 inch from the shoulder seam. So hopefully that's good. Now, that's a good way to fit this in here. Well, I try to keep most of the bulk out. Here goes nothing. Literally nothing. Okay, that's too tight. This pressing pillow's thicker than the other one. There we go. Whee! Look how cute! I pressed both sleeves. I just had one cooling while the other one was being pressed. So now I can peel this side and give it its second press. Oh, it looks so cute on this blue. Wow. Okay. Yay! Now I gotta do the chest piece and the name tag. All of our apparel items get a DTF name tag. Even if it's an embroidered item, it gets this inside at the neckline. And for that we use this little handheld iron. Although it's hard to get a lot of pressure with something like this. Now for the chest design. I've got the zip open like this. I feel like that'll press nicely. Keep the bulk out. Okay, that needs to be tighter. By the way, my presses are 146 degrees Celsius for 10 seconds. It's just what I found works best for this particular press, which is from Embroidery Systems Canada. It's the Cronus press. Let's see if we can peel. Yes, we can. So, what do we think? Cute, cute. I'm just blown away that I could do this here in my house. I'm just so glad I thought of this last minute instead of my original thoughts for the zip, which were using the digital froggy art. This illustration just worked out so much better, so it was so convenient being able to just whip it up on the spot. I can design it and print it immediately to test it out, see how it's gonna work, see if I like the size of everything, and see how it looks on the blanks. And it's gonna save me so much money on the transfers going forward, especially for these big ones like this. And it's amazing to me that a smaller printer like this can print such high quality. This looks and feels just like my DTF transfers I would get professionally printed. Nice and thin, not too much of a sheen. Just, oh, yes, yes. Like you don't feel it at all. It's not bulking. So not only will this be great for just jumping on an idea as soon as inspiration strikes, but just like anything that I need a quick turnaround time on, or even if I'm just making a single shirt for myself for an event, like maybe I'm going to a concert and I want a matching shirt or something, I can just whip it up. Or even for gifts for family members. And not only can I sell stuff with transfers already on it, but I can even sell the transfers themselves for other people to heat press onto whatever they want. It's just so exciting for me. I can't wait to play around with it even more. And I will be doing deeper dives into this machine in future videos on more specific topics and things like how much money am I saving per transfer, stuff like that. So stay tuned. And that is all I have for you for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you xTool for sending this machine my way. And just a reminder, I do have an affiliate link down in the video description. If you shop using that link, I do earn a commission. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Some areas are not outlined, or there's just little dots, which is not something I typically would do in the past. I was very much about solid outlines and thickening certain areas in the past, but I've moved away from the multi-liners a lot for my art and try to go for more of a subtle outline. And then it was time for the dress details.